seller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychological black on firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter, and this is the Grow Your Money podcast, where we talk about how to grow your money and not blow your money, because if you blow your money, it ain't a damn thing funny. Now, listen, today we have a real serious topic, so I need everybody who's on here under the sound of my voice. I need you to go and I need you to tell your friends that we are talking about something really serious. Over the next several weeks, we're going to be talking a lot about different types of cancers and what to look out for, what you could do to prevent it, how you can, how you can be avoided. So if you know anybody who has had any type of cancer, whether it's colon cancer, breast cancer, whether it's pancreatic cancer, stomach cancer, there's all different types of ways that we can, get cancer. What is it? How does it get here? What can we do to avoid it? We're going to have that conversation. So tell your friends to come in, because Dr. Shirley Jones, our resident doctor, our health professional, our MD, is going to be sharing with us specifically what we could do. And the beautiful thing is you are able to ask Dr. Shirley some questions. So if you come on here, you can go go to talkblack2me.com. I got the wrong banners up here. Talkblack2me.com. And you will be able to come on live with us and ask Dr. Shirley some questions live. You can come on live with us, but you got to get on camera and you can't say no dumb shit. Okay. So if you go to talkblack2me.com, you could actually come on stage, come on here, come on camera and have a conversation with Dr. Shirley if you have some questions. Okay. Otherwise, you can put them in the chat, because this is a dialogue and not a monologue. What does that mean? It works if you engage, and we like to answer questions live. That's why we come live and we don't pre-record this, because we want to interact and engage with you. So if you have any questions, you want to put them in the comments, you are more than welcome to do that. All right. So for the people who are just now logging in, or this is your first time on here, we always love to acknowledge our first time viewers. So if this is your first time here, please put in the chat, this is my first time. And then for everybody else, where you're watching from, because we know that we have people from watching from all over the world. So the other thing, what's up, Booker from Fort Worth, out down in Fort Worth. What's up, Najai? Is the N silent? Is it just Jai, or is it Njai? Let me know. I see Dennis is from Minnesota. I see who's that? Lovely JR, all the way from Seattle, Washington. What's up, Danny Saba? Yeah, we talking about colon cancer today. So go ahead and tell your friends. This is a really important conversation that we're getting ready to have. And also, finally, if you are a Black-owned business, or if you know of a Black-owned business, please put it in the comments, because we want you. We really want to be able to support you. And so if you're not if you have not already joined the Stay Woke group on Facebook, make sure you go to Facebook and join the Stay Woke group, because this is a place where we share enlightening information, and also where you could share what you do if you have a Black-owned business, because that's important to us. But without further ado, I want to get right into the conversation with Dr. Shirley or Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones, and talk about this very topic of colon cancer. So you guys, make sure you give a warm, wait a minute. Let me, hold on. Wait. Warm round of applause.
Like the sound effects.
I got her sound effects today, baby. What's up, Dr. Jones? How you doing? It's been a few weeks since I've seen you. I've missed you so much. Where
nice
you been?
Seeing you. Nice seeing everybody.
Where you been?
I've been out in nature in Arizona,
You look
in
like
the
you had a
mountains,
tan.
hiking, getting my peace, recentering myself, enjoying the nature, the walking, the sights.
I see you got a tan.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
I love it. So Dr. Jones, so if you guys don't know who Dr. Jones is, she is what kind of doctor are you? Family.
Family medicine doctor.
She's a family medicine physician. She's also a holistic health practitioner. So her thing is she wants us to be healthy, live long, be strong, and live optimal lives. That's her whole mission. And so beyond her medical practice, she does consultations where she helps people like you, regular people who may need a second opinion. Maybe you want somebody to look at your blood work. Maybe you need her to recommend you to some specialists. She's done all of this. Help people reverse their aging. She has helped people to live longer. We have testimonials. So, but Dr. Jones is she's out here like literally saving lives. Everybody say I'm out here saving lives. No, she's literally saving lives. So, Dr. Jones, I want to get right into it about what colon cancer is. What is colon cancer?
So colon cancer is a disease that actually is preventable and treatable if it is caught early.
Okay.
Colon cancer starts on the inside of our colon, which is the tube that starts in our mouth, go all the way through our rectum. And there are cells that line that tube. And what happens is these cells overgrow into what we call polyps. So it's a very slow growing cancer. And when these polyps overgrow, they're usually benign, but they are precancerous, hence why we need to screen for them. So the first symptom of colon cancer, there is no symptom when it's early.
Okay. So so colon, because I've seen some of the pictures that you sent me. I
Yes,
didn't realize that the way you kind of like look or you discover colon cancer is through your stool. But even before we go there, first thing is because I'm 50, no, not 50, I'll be 50 next year.
mhm,
And they told me that I needed to start screening for get a colonoscopy at 45. Is that correct?
correct. We start screening at 45 because really colon cancer is anybody can get colon cancer. We say you're more likely to get it if you have a family member, but there are a lot of people who don't have family members that get colon cancer. And
Mm.
so we start screening at 45. If you have a family member, which is like a first degree relative, which is like a brother, sister, mother, dad, grandparents, then what you do is screen, or talk to your physician and screen earlier than 45.
Where does it come from?
It comes from the cells. Well, where means
Like what you eat, like it's a bacteria, like
oh, so your risk. So your risk. So these are your risks. So your risks are drinking, alcohol, smoking, obesity. Obesity increases the risk for all types of cancer. The other thing is eating red meats because red meats have they're inflammatory, and inflammation causes the bowel to develop into cancer. It is a slow growing cancer, but other things are the African American race, the black race is the risk.
why are we seeing a more of a rise in colon cancer amongst like younger African Americans?
Well, one thing, you mean younger than 45?
Yeah, like as we're seeing it more and more.
It's fast food. It's processed foods. Eating the wrong foods.
Mhm,
Lack of exercise. People who sit on the couch tend to get colon cancer.
mhm,
You have to move. You have to live a healthy life. You
mhm.
can't have. Our diet has really changed over the years. People are not out walking and exercising. People are not preparing whole foods, eating fruits and vegetables. Everything is processed, high fats, high sugars, high salts. And these are all things that lead to obesity, which also leads to cancers.
Okay. So I know you said when you first get it, there are really no symptoms. So let's start talking about some of the symptoms that you
Okay,
start really start.
so um, let's show the first slide of the actual colon.
Okay. All right. The actual colon.
With
This
the
right.
little, there you go.
Okay. All right.
So if you see where it's the colon is the tube that goes through your mouth, it goes from your mouth, esophagus, down to your stomach, your small intestines, and then the colon is the last part that goes through your rectum. If you see the little red dots, those are polyps. Stage one of the polyps actually, these can be removed because they are precancerous. If you
Mm.
let them stay there or you don't discover, you see how they begin to grow. If they stay within the lumen of the colon in the middle, like stage 2 and 3, well, 3 is starting to evade into the wall, if you notice. See if you see the pink part, that's the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and how the red and the orange is starting to go into that pink part of the colon.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's starting to grow into the wall. And then when it grows bigger, the stage 4, it has gone outside and has gone outside to the surrounding vessels and lymph nodes. So if you find it in 1, 2, and 3, this is treatable. Actually, it's treatable in 4 if you find it in time and it hasn't metastasized.
But those little veins
The
going up,
tentacles, right.
those tentacles,
That
those are
means it's spreading outside of the colon and going into the rest of the body. A lot of times it goes into your lymph nodes. When cancer get in your lymph nodes, the lymph nodes are all over the body and it's part of the blood supply, and so it spreads to the rest of your body. So that's what we call metastasis. And it goes
Mhm.
to your liver, your brain, your bone, all of those.
So what do they do? Because I've heard people say they cut out part of their colon.
Well, it depends on what stage you find in. So this is why prevention is so important, because when you have the little blip, like a stage 1 or a smaller, if you look up at the top, these are called polyps. If you go have the colonoscopy, they can see these polyps. So the colonoscopy is the standard prevention measure because it can see them and it can cut them off. So that's treatment. So, because if you cut them off, then it won't develop.
Mm.
And so that's why it's good to have colonoscopy as opposed to uh, you could do the other treatments, which is like they test your blood for the occult blood testing or the Cologuard, where you just take some of your poop and send it in. But the
Mhm.
problem is they can't treat you. So a screening colonoscopy can actually treat and remove these polyps.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah. So even at
Okay.
stage 4, it can be removed.
It can be removed. Now, it depends on what outside with the tentacles where it has gone to.
So
So if
it's
those
just getting
tentacles have
bigger
moving
and bigger
into,
and bigger and bigger.
yes,
Got
and
it.
it just invades and takes over.
Mm.
But this is a treatable cancer. It
It
just
is.
has to be found early. And it's also slow growing.
Do we have statistics on African American? I can pull it up really quick. Do you have statistics on how we have what our percentage is on colon cancer?
Uh, See if you can pull it up. But our percentage of dying from colon cancer is high because we don't do the screenings. A lot
Okay.
of people, there are myths about the screening. They're scared and they said it hurts. Well, you're put to sleep.
So compared to other groups, we are 20% more likely to develop colorectal cancer and about 40% more likely to die from it. So, yeah, so we're 20% more likely to develop it, 40% more likely to die from it, but that's really from early prevention.
Right.
Is that environmental too? Because I mean, we don't
Well,
eat any different than,
environmental meaning, alcohol.
yeah. But we don't
Alcohol puts you
consume
at
more
risk.
alcohol than anybody else. We don't eat any worse. Like we eat like an American diet, an average American diet. So why would we develop it 20%? Why we have a 20% more chance of getting it?
Well, number one, colon cancer is really it's not really predictable. Anybody can get it, but it's really based on what you eat and obesity and your other factors of how much you drink and alcohol
Mm,
and smoke.
mhm.
So someone said, "Is it okay to check earlier than 45?" Yes, it is. If you have a history or a family history of that, or you're having symptoms.
Mm.
Also, the other thing is we tend, as Black people, we tend not to go to the doctor as often, and that's because of health disparities
Yeah.
and food deserts. So we tend to eat in our inner cities. We tend to eat more processed foods, more red meats, and
Mm-hmm.
so we tend to be more obese and
Mm-hmm.
have metabolic syndrome, which
Mm-hmm.
is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity,
Right.
fatty liver disease.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So the screening basically can, if you do the colonoscopy, they can go in and look. If they see something, they can cut it out.
Okay.
They,
So for 45, how often should they go get screened?
if they find no polyps, then it's every 10 years.
Okay, so
If
after
they find
45,
polyps,
55.
yeah. So at 45, 55, if they find polyps and remove them, they send them to look and see if they are cancerous or precancerous. Then they may have you to come back in 3 years or 5 years.
Okay. So how do
Yes.
you really encourage somebody who is hesitant or scared to go to the doctor or get tested?
Tell them this is a preventable cancer. People do not have to die from colon cancer. And what you can do is, let's go back to when you do see symptoms, why it is still important.
Mhm.
So if you could show the stool samples.
Mm,
Well, not samples, it's the pictures, they're drawn.
mm.
So these are things. So when you do start having symptoms, if you see blood in your stool, that's a red flag. You need to go to your doctor and let them know that there's blood in your stool. That is not normal. If you see the dark, tarry, black stools, which is like the second one, that's not normal. That's microscopic blood. The reason why your stools are black. If you're tired, go see your doctor. There are other things that can cause this, but this is maybe a flag that your body's telling you that something's not normal. If you see mucus in your stool, which is the third one, that's not normal. Go see your doctor. If you have pencil like thin stools, like in the narrow stool, that's not normal because that means it could be a mass, and that's why they're pencil, because they're trying to get by the mass. Or if they're pellets, that's not normal. And then we all know diarrhea. Your healthy stool should look like the last one, which means after you have a bowel movement, turn around and look in the stool.
Yes, even if you gag.
Even if you gag, just quickly look.
So let's look a little bit deeper.
Let's look a little bit deeper. And so type 1, also, if you see the pellets like in type 1 and type 5, this tells you, also that you're dehydrated because your stool should not look like that.
Mm.
And then you want the more sausagey type stool that's firm, not too
Do not
firm.
call stool sausagey. That's disgusting.
Okay, well, cylindrical,
Okay, that's better because
hot
I don't want
dogish.
anything to be related to food when it comes to stool. No.
Okay. And so those are normal type stools. But when you see them broken up into pellets, that means, you're dehydrated. But if they're hard lumps, you're really dehydrated. A lot of times people see blood in their stool and they automatically jump to, oh, I just have hemorrhoids. But you should have it checked out. If you have unexplained weight loss, you need to have a colonoscopy and tell your doctor and check out. If you have anemia, always bloated, after you eat, you get quickly full and you normally can eat more. These are all signs and symptoms that it may be colon cancer.
Mm.
So if you go to the next one, let's talk about the screening and how the prevention is so important. And it goes back to what you were saying. Everyone needs, March is Colon Cancer Prevention Month.
Mhm.
And if you love your friends, if you love your family and you want them around, please remind them to get their colon screening. And this is what the scope looks like. And they actually, the process is the day before, you can still work, but you have more of a clear liquid diet. That afternoon, you start taking the pills or the liquid to clean out your colon, and you're going to be up all night pooping. It should not be bad, but you'll be up all night pooping. And then the next morning, when you get to the hospital or if it's a surgical suite, they give you IV sedation and put you to sleep. And they enter that tube through your rectum, and they go in and they look for polyps. If they see a polyp, they cut it off and they send it to pathology to make sure it's not cancer. And then they come back, they look for any type of bleeding or anything like that. And the procedure takes 15 to 20 minutes. You could go home when you wake up, go home and get something to eat. You may be a little sleepy, and you're back to work the next day.
Yeah, I took my dad one year, and they put him to sleep, and the doctor showed me his thing. I was like, I
Mm.
seen little bubbles. They were like, he just had a little gas, and that was
Mhm.
it. He's good. He's healthy. So I was really happy. But what's the difference? So what about a colon cleansing? People often get like, I went and got a colon cleansing one time. What does that do?
Well, I don't believe in colon cleansing
Okay.
because if you eat the right food, you should go to the bathroom enough.
Because that's like I don't want to say a fad, but it's like one of those things that a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Yeah, because of toxins and things like that. And if you have a bad diet,
mhm,
people do that. But you have to watch with colon cleansing because there are a lot of people that sell them. Some of them are natural, but are you allergic to what they do in the colon cleansing with? You know, are you healthy enough to have a colon cleansing?
mhm.
Because if you're not healthy enough, it actually can end you up in the hospital. I've
And I'm talking
admitted
about when you
several
go to the
people.
places to have the colon cleansings.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about the like spa places that do the colon cleansings. Is that what you're
Even
talking
those,
about? Okay.
I've admitted people to the hospital who've done a colon cleansing that ended up in the ICU.
Why?
So you have because they had an allergic reaction to what they were using.
Okay.
Or one person actually caused a fluid shift
Mhm.
out of all her cells and it dehydrated her so bad she passed out.
What about like a tea?
Teas, you can, those are like detox, where
Yeah.
like a tea is fine. But the thing is, you have to make sure you're healthy before you take these things. Because if you're already dehydrated and then you're causing a shift to cleanse out your colon, you may get further dehydrated. And then
Mhm.
when you feel really bad,
Mhm.
but your body will let you know,
Mhm.
but don't, if you eat bad, then some people do colon cleansing.
Okay.
If you have high levels of metal and things like that,
Why would you have that?
um, some people just have the disease, what we call Wilson's disease, which is metal, or they live in an area with environmental, or they're eating a lot of fish.
Okay.
A lot of fish has mercury. There's promotion or a lot of alcohol. People sometimes do colon cleansing, but
Okay.
I really don't
So
suggest colon cleansing.
Jai said, what can we do to naturally clean up the colon and get the toxins and particles out of the body?
Eat correctly. Eat whole foods, fresh vegetables, and fruits. Drink a lot of water,
Okay.
and not water in plastic bottles
Yeah.
and glass bottles and glasses, because you're taking in the plastics also. And
Right.
now if you're full of junk, you could do a colon cleanser, or you could just do a diuretic, or just start eating a lot of fiber, because increasing fiber in your diet, that is one way to reduce your risk of
Okay.
getting
Eating more
cancer.
fiber. What's fiber? Apples.
Fiber are fruits and vegetables.
Okay. So if we
All
eat more,
fruits and vegetables have a whole lot of fiber, and
okay.
grains
Okay. Okay. Fruits,
and
vegetables,
beans.
and grains. So
Yes,
I'm
pretty
not
much a
saying
vegan diet.
I'm not saying not to eat. I'm not saying not to eat not right, because we gotta, but people are so used to their how they eat. But if you can just increase the amount of vegetables,
Of
increase
vegetables,
the amount
right.
of fruit, That should do somewhat of a difference, right?
Yes, it decreases somewhat your risk. And
Okay.
even if you eat meat, just don't eat the red meat.
Right.
Eat fish and chicken, and then make sure you it's fresh fish and chicken, because you know
Yeah.
how I feel about that. The
Yeah.
fish and chicken, a lot of it is processed, is dead animals from 2 weeks old that you
Yeah.
buy in the grocery stores. And
Yeah.
it's good to take pre and probiotics because it keeps your the bugs in your colon balanced, so they won't create an inflammatory condition.
Okay. Okay. So I eat salmon. So I've been doing my green smoothies every day.
Oh, good.
Do salmon salad. So typically will meal prep my salmon on Monday, and I'll do a
Mhm.
whole big bowl. So every day for lunch, I'll do salmon salad. It's really, really good. So I've been definitely doing better. And then on the weekends, I splurge a little bit. I'll go and eat, kind of regular, but I just try to be
But
more.
that's not regular.
Well, I mean, just how I'm regularly used to eating, but I am trying to wean myself off of it. And, I'm trying to be more intentional about increasing those greens and things like that for, to decrease it, to the prevention. So you definitely have affected me in how I eat and how I try to make sure that I'm being intentional about, what I'm putting in my body. So thank you for that. What would you say? Okay. Is a colonoscopy painful? They put them to sleep.
No, they put you to sleep.
So when they wake up, is their butt hurting?
No. You
Okay.
see how small the tube is. It's
Okay.
no bigger than like your thumb.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for people who are recovering, you said it's definitely preventable. You don't have to die from it. Would you put it on par with like a not colon cancer, prostate cancer? Because prostate cancer seems to be
Right.
a slow
Yes.
one. So you
Right.
don't have to die from it.
You do not have to die from it.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
a small group of people who get colon cancer that maybe they had other colon issues like inflammatory bowel diseases,
Hmm.
that it's a little bit different. But the average person, if you pay attention to your body, you eat right, you exercise, you keep your weight down, decrease all the fatty foods,
Hmm.
alcohol, smoking, you
Yeah.
know,
And
even
just for
if
the
they
people
catch it, then
just
it's
logged
more
on,
likely.
I want to just show you what type of stool you should have. Go ahead and tell them, Dr.
Right.
Shirley. What kind of stool should they have?
You should have you told me not to use sausage.
And you
A
just did
cylindrical
anyway.
stool, like the healthy stool in the bottom.
But the blood, the
The
pellet.
blood, the dark black stools, that none of that's normal. If you see mucus in your stool, that's not normal. If you have the very pin-like, very thin, long stools, that's not normal.
Mhm,
Pellets, not normal, and definitely diarrhea is not normal.
mhm, mhm.
If any of this lasts for a period of time, if you have stomach pains and bloating for a period of time, you need to speak with your primary care physician about checking you. If you have anemia and there's no cause for your anemia, actually, personal story of my first cousin, I have colon cancer in my family, strong history of colon cancer in my family. Both of my cousins, they were brothers. They found out because one collapsed in Red Lobster. They found his blood count was like, on a scale, it should be anywhere from like 11 to 14. It was like 5. And they found the colon cancer. His brother, similar. They
Ooh.
had no signs before that, but they had been bleeding. And there's 2 types of blood in your stool. It could be what we call macroscopic. That's when you see the red stools as in the picture, or it's called microscopic. You can't see it, but it's there and your stools are black.
So so remember we were talking about pancreatic cancer a few weeks ago,
Yes,
and we were talking about how like it won't show up, and then all of a sudden when it shows up you're dead, because basically where it's located and you don't really have any
right.
symptoms until you're like stage 4. Is it like that with colon cancer as well?
No, no. Pancreatic
Different.
cancer is a really deadly bad cancer.
Right, right, right. But
But
I'm
colon
talking about
cancer
how it shows
doesn't
up.
have to be.
So we can so the difference between the two, it sounds like, is you can get screening for colon cancer, but there's no
Yes,
screening for pancreatic cancer. And
right.
that's the reason why it's so deadly, because by the time it shows up, it's already too late. Got
Bye.
it. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. So Deborah,
Very,
what's up, Deborah?
very seldom. The percentage of 5-year survival rate is very low for
So Deborah will
pancreatic
win.
cancer.
Deborah Will Win got on here with me and April last week. She came on live with us, and Deborah Will Win says she is a great grandmother, and she looks like she's 38 years old. It's crazy. She looks like
Oh wow.
she
Showed
that
us a
picture.
picture.
She looks, that's her, but she looks younger than that when she was live with us. It's crazy. Anyway, she says, since I've been taking magnesium, I've noticed less muscle cramps from workout. She's very healthy. She's thin, healthy, and I go to the bathroom much more regularly. So that's the result of taking magnesium. I take magnesium.
Yeah, magnesium is a smooth muscle
Okay.
relaxer. And
Okay.
so it helps with sleep, it helps with pooping.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's in the diarrhea, the laxative medicine, mag citrate.
Mm-hmm.
That's magnesium in there. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But if you eat fresh fruits and vegetables and add more to your diet, you won't have to take that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That
So
makes
you
sense.
have to increase that in your diet.
So if you look at, I don't even know how many different cancers there are, but on a scale of 1 to 10, so we talked about pancreatic cancer a couple weeks ago. Now we're talking about colon cancer. On a scale of 1 to 10, pancreatic cancer will be where? On a scale of 1 to 10, colon cancer will be where?
On a scale of 1 to 10 for
10
what?
being the worst, 1 being
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah,
More deadly. Worse
more
meaning more
deadly.
deadly.
Yes.
Okay. Treatable. More
Okay.
deadly. Okay.
However you so what would you say? So
So the
um
worst would be like a lung cancer,
lung.
pancreatic cancer, some breast cancers.
Okay.
Um, the ones that are more treatable are, like cervical cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer.
Okay. So the
Yeah.
more treatable
And then
ones
some of the blood cancers
are treatable or not treatable?
are treatable and some of them are not.
Okay. So
But it all depends on prevention and detection. Early detection helps improve your outcome of dying from these cancers and suffering.
okay. So what's the common thread? And I know you answer this all the time, but what is the common thread for getting cancer?
Poor eating habits.
Poor eating habits.
Poor eating fast foods, fried foods, pretty much lifestyle. A lot of people call them regular, and this is just what we do. But lifestyle increases your risk. Poor lifestyle increases your risk of cancers.
Because my regular
That's
is different
drinking, smoking, entering things into the body that are not meant to be there.
Well, you have it all in your book, The Transition. I have this book sitting by my bed, and I went to go get it. I was like, you know what? Every time I got Dr. Jones on here, I'd be like, I got the book. It's next to my bed. But no, this book is a very, very, very easy read. And the thing I love about this, because I read it, the thing I love about this, it's got even pictures in here, and it's in color. But you talk about, what are you doing? You give a grocery list of the things that because this is about the transition to holistic eating, right? Vegetables, plant-based lifestyle. So what am I supposed to eat? I don't want to starve. She gives you a grocery shopping list. She tells you how to read the label. She tells you how to meal prep. She gives you her favorite recipes. Like, so if this is like transitioning, if you eat regular like the rest of us or bad, she's showing us, because I think the biggest question that people have is, well, how do I transition? How do I go? And so she makes it really easy in her book, The Transition, which is available on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon, I think it was Shirley J. Jones or Dr. Shirley J. Jones or something like that.
Yeah, Shirley E. Jones.
Shirley E. Jones.
Yeah, Dr. Shirley E. Jones. Because my
So
name is so common.
you're right. So if you are wrestling, or if you're thinking about the transition, definitely get her book, because it will and that's it's the reason why I started doing the salads every day, the salads and the salmon, and doing the green smoothies, just because sometimes, everybody can't do cold turkey and just say, I'm going to go plant based. So we need to make a transition, and she makes it really easy in this book. Dr. Jones, tell them about what one of the things that you do with your services outside of your family practice.
Okay, outside of my family practice, I help people over the country, and I'm trying to spread out internationally to grow old gracefully.
Oh, come on.
You have to start when you're young, when you're 17, when you're teens. You got to teach your children how to eat. We have to change the way we're eating. We're killing ourselves. At the change of the century, more people were alive and not having heart attacks than now. More people are having strokes and heart attacks, and it's all diet, is what
Mm,
we're putting in, because in the United States, our food is so tainted because of mass production. They pick things early, and they fill it up with all the fillers, the dyes, the toxins, the antibiotics, so that it can stay on the shelf longer. That's capitalism. They
mhm,
want to make a buck from everything. They don't want anything to get old
mhm,
and where you can't. So it's killing us, and then it's just everything that's going on now is just sad. And I try not to get political, but a lot of things that are governing our food, where food is being sold, our environmental, are all being done away with.
mhm,
Things that have protect us, even with our bad diets. Now we're just left out there.
mhm, mhm.
So we have to take it upon ourselves. Even if you do not have fresh fruits and vegetables in your area, get a pot. And with that last apple you ate, the last peach you ate, last fruit take the seeds and put it in a pot in some soil. Go outside and dig up the soil and put it in a pot and
Okay.
grow something. Grow a tomato, because at least you have a fresh tomato. Grow a cabbage. Grow spinach. You can put all those in a pot, because as food prices go up, people will tend to eat more processed food,
True.
because they are going to jump on that.
True.
They're going to Big Mac, what is it? McDonald's is going to probably go down and have a Big Mac sandwich for $3,
Mhm,
because they're more about selling that to you than they are about your health. And
mhm.
that's what they put in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And so we have to take our health back into our hands. And even if you don't want to go vegan, I get it. Some people just don't want to let meat go. Be intentional about what you eat. If you have a steak and you're going to eat red meat, don't eat it with the potato. Eat it with some broccoli. Add some green leafy vegetables. Have an apple later instead of the fatty, what is it? People eat cheesecake and all that stuff after,
Right.
you know. Throw your vegetables in. Find a vegetable you like. If you say you don't like vegetables, there are thousands of vegetables out there. I'm
Right.
sure you will find one
Okay.
that you like, because it's all about the seasoning.
Right. So you said something, because I didn't know that you could take, and so this is my uh, uneducation. I didn't know that you could take the seeds from an apple that you ate and just and plant it and get more apples. That's the whole point of seeds.
That's
Dummy.
the whole point of
Dummy.
any of the seeds, mangoes, whatever.
So I'm gonna do that.
Carrots, carrots. What I do with the carrots, when I buy a carrot, I buy the fresh carrots that have the
It's-
leaves on it.
yeah.
If you don't cut at the stalk, but you cut a little bit and leave a little of the carrot on the top, you can put that in soil, water it every day, and you'll grow a carrot.
What? I'm gonna do
Most
that.
of your
So
vegetables are like that.
as you were talking, I was like imagining myself going and getting a planter box, and then just
Yes,
starting small with like little things here.
Right.
little,
Things that you like, you and your
yeah,
kids like,
tomatoes and
like tomatoes.
apples and cucumbers and things like that.
Yes.
So I'm gonna definitely look into that because I think that will be a really, and of course, just like you said, the price of food is going up, but you could
Mhm.
take a seed from an apple that you ate, and then you could actually,
A peach, a pear,
okay,
and you have so much land, you could start growing some pear trees, some fruit trees.
yeah, but then who's gonna pick it up when my son goes away to college?
Well, hopefully you'll be eating.
Okay, my parents have like I think peach trees.
Yeah.
They have so many peaches.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Well, it
so
takes a while to get to that point.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Got it, got it, got
You
it,
could
got
do
it.
the same with avocados. You could do the
Yeah.
same with cantaloupe. But if you don't want to get outside, you could grow plants on your balcony, your
Yeah.
lanai,
Yeah.
your deck.
Yeah.
You can put them on there and you can just get some pots or
Yeah.
of the raised, you can create a raised pot,
Yeah.
like the
So the
raised
planter
plant,
box.
the
So if
long,
I have a planter box,
right. You put
I
some
could put
soil.
different I could put different things in one box, right?
No,
Oh.
you got to pick with things because I found that out. So I used to live in a high rise, everyone, and I didn't realize that cucumbers have little suckers that go out and grab things.
What?
They went and grabbed my tomatoes because I had them in the box next to the tomatoes. They literally went and grabbed the tomato plant
And then what?
and they latch on
What?
because they have vines.
Oh
So you
wow.
you have to put the viney type things like zucchini, cucumbers, things that because you'll see their flowers grow, and then they have these little tentacles, and then
Uh,
they will reach across stuff out of the box.
oh, they go out of the box and
Yes,
go to the next box.
yes,
What? That's crazy. They like
it's
to have a little mind
crazy.
of their own. We're gonna have to have a session about that one day, Dr. Jones, because this is
Yes.
something that I actually really, really, really want to know. I want to definitely finish up our series on cancer. So we're gonna
Mhm.
talk about lung cancer next week because I think it's very,
Okay.
very important. But I do want to talk about the services that you offer too, because
Okay.
that is extremely important. Dr. Jones, beyond her medical practice, her family practice, which is what she does, which is her 9 to 5. She also has a concierge service where she will help people from all over the world with their medical issues, questions. Tell them about it, Dr. Jones.
Yes, I offer a consultation, a second opinion, or if you need a consultation where you are on a lot of medications and you want to get off those medications, I can help guide you, create a plan to get off your medications and eat direct. And I'm into plant-based medicine. So I will help you get off your medications, pay attention to your body, institute programs and plants and teas and things that you can do naturally to help you come off your medications and to live a healthier life. And I do it as a consultation. I have a second opinion if you get a cancer diagnosis and you want to know what's my next step, what should and your doctor didn't tell you. Because a lot of times when we because I'm a physician, tell our patients that they have cancer, it's such a bad diagnosis that your brain cuts off. You don't hear anything else. So sometimes you need another person to help tell you what's going on. And that's what I do.
So where do they go to find you?
You go to find me on askdrj.info.
askdrj.info,
.info.
and she will do a consultation for you. And I think it's for a fee, but you have
Yes, I have a 25% till the end of the year off the
yeah, yeah.
consultation fee.
So what's the coupon code, Dr. Jones? Jesus, I'm gonna whoop you. Where is it at? Did we put it on here?
I think we put it on the last. Oh, what is the cute? It
Uh,
net 7, I think. I don't know.
sweet
I know.
Jesus.
My office does that.
She's a doctor. She doesn't have time for it. But the thing I love about Dr. Jones, because it's not like, because you have your holistic practice. What
Yes.
made you, because I want them to understand why it's so important for them to get a second opinion, you having to give people medicine, you having to, prescribe this, and you seeing how people over over the course of your years in medicine, seeing how people have deteriorated, how people have abused their bodies, what's happened, and then how they've been able to transition out of that, and why you went from, where what they've told you to do or taught you to do, to just prescribe medicine all the time, to really getting them to look differently, right? Because you said food is your medicine.
Food is and that's the biggest thing I tell my patients, even in the family medicine practice. Um, you are what you eat, and food is your medicine. If you change your lifestyle, if you change what you eat, you can change your trajectory of health.
Mm-hmm.
When you start getting in your 40s and 50s, you really come to a crossroad, because in your 40s and 50s are usually when family issues that people died from, the diabetes, high blood pressure, all of that shows up, strokes. Um, 50s, 60s, people start dying. Most people die during that time that have bad, if you're obese, everybody knows we lose a lot of family members, friends, and you look around it's like everybody's dying, and cancer shows up. And
Yeah.
so if you get to the crossroads, and we should also help our kids
Mm-hmm.
to eat right, get into healthy habits of exercising, then you can change your trajectory of life. Because as someone said in the comments, the lifespan for humans, according to America, is in the
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
That's not our lifespan. We can
Yeah.
live to the hundreds if we eat right and treat our bodies right and put the right things in our body.
One thing that you said to me that struck me one time in one of our conversations is you said you
Mhm.
have no elders in your family.
Right,
And that's huge. And that was the thing that I guess kind of like said to you, huh, I need to do something different.
right.
Yeah.
And so what happened to share my story is I became, when I had my daughter, I was so sick when I had my daughter. I got diabetes, preeclampsia, high blood pressure, and I ended up, and I was a physician. I was an OBGYN physician at the time. And I ended up coming out of the hospital on a whole lot of medications. I had more medications than my patients. And I
Mm.
was like, this is not good. How can I treat other people and I'm on more medications than them? I was
Mm.
overweight. I was stressed out. As a physician, I was eating all the wrong foods. I was not exercising because I was so stressed out. I was so busy trying to take care of other people that was not taking care of myself.
How
And
many how
so
many people would be too busy taking care of other people?
everybody,
Mhm.
you have to stop. And that's when I stopped. And I was like, I am a healer. I need to heal myself first.
Well,
And so I had to get off all that medications. I had to take uh, care of my body, start taking the time to exercise, to meditate, to reduce my stress. Because some
mhm.
stressors in life are not going away, but
Right.
it's how we perceive the stress. Stress is a perception
Right.
of how you perceive it.
Right.
And so what's stress for somebody else is not stress for other people.
Mhm.
So it's how you take care of your body. And then when you're feeling tired, your guard goes down and you're more likely to stop at fast food places. Because guess
Right.
what? They're convenient.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so I had to heal myself. So I decided to become vegetarian because I noticed after my daughter, the diabetes came back and it came back with a vengeance. And I
Mm.
noticed when I stopped eating red meat and I tried to eat more vegetables, my A1C, which is the test that tells us how well your diabetes is doing, how much sugar is in your blood, it came down. And so I continued that lifestyle, exercise, and was doing great until I hit menopause. And then when I hit menopause, it went haywire. And that's when I decided to eliminate all meat products. And doing this study, I realized being vegan is actually being animal compassion, because it's just not about what you eat. It's about, why does another living thing have to suffer for our food when we have enough food on the earth, as in plants?
Right.
Um, most people, if you think about it and you realize that plants are grown, we were given plants to eat. Animals are not killed with compassion. They knock cows in the head, they cut their heads off, the chickens and all of that. And so if somebody's killing you, the stress hormone goes because they produce hormones too. So you're eating that stress hormone. So that's one of the reasons why you have the inflammation, along with all the toxins and the dyes and the preservatives. And so being aware of my surroundings and the earth and how we're part of the earth, that's how I became a vegan and start drinking more water, watching what I drink my water out of, because plastic are uh, we call them hormone modulators, which means they mimic hormones in our body. So we have started doing studies showing that people who drink this plastic water and eat a lot of plastics, microwaving and plastic and Tupperware, they have higher incidence of ovarian and breast cancer.
Sheesh. It's like
So these things, is
not if you're gonna get it, it's
our
when you're gonna get
environment
it.
is we have to take back our health.
Yeah.
And even more so now,
Why more so now?
because the powers that be are not physicians.
Mm.
Who's
Yeah.
over the Health and Human Services and making decisions for our health. They're not physicians.
RFK.
And the Surgeon General, she didn't even finish medical school.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
You know
know.
what's crazy is when I talk to people, because you were mentioning diabetes,
hmm
a lot of people don't even know that you can actually reverse diabetes. People
Right.
don't even, this isn't common knowledge that's not so common to a lot of people. That if you just change your diet, but most people, they just put them on medication, they cut off that toe, then that foot, then that ankle, then that leg,
And then they
without
go on
telling them,
dialysis,
right, go on dialysis without telling them,
and then they die.
yeah, and then they die. And a
Mhm.
horrible life. They live a horrible life because they just didn't tell them stop eating that fried chicken and the pig's feet and the fat back. That's all you got to do. But nobody told them.
Right.
And
And
that's
you have to do it with the help of a physician, because um, you have to be monitored when you're doing this.
mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Deborah will went to that. Most people want a quick pill, a quick
True.
fix pill.
True.
Yeah. Charisma
True.
said, can you reverse heart disease?
You can improve it, you can't reverse it, because heart disease is actually where it's a damage.
Mm,
You've already clogged your arteries. Your arteries are clogged from eating fatty, bad foods and milk products from childhood. So these things just don't happen, overnight. These things, years of bad foods.
mm-hmm.
And so years of bad. So even though, like me, even though I'm a vegan, I'm sure my arteries are still somewhat clogged, because number one, I didn't become a vegetarian or a vegan till later in life,
Mm,
after my 40s.
mm. Wow.
So that was before 40 on, my family were big pig feed, pork chops, roast, ribs, steaks,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hence why I don't have any older relatives.
But one of the things that you said, Dr. Jones, is that because we often hear that we inherit our parents' diseases.
Right.
But one of the things that you said that was so informative is that we don't inherit their diseases; we inherit their what?
Lifestyle, their habits, their bad habits.
Yep, we inherit their habits. And so
Right.
the reason why your parents got hypertension and you got hypertension is because you have the same habits. You're not necessarily going to get hypertension because your mom had hypertension. You're going to get it because of how you eat.
Right. Because you're eating that bacon mom eats.
You eating that
You
same
eat,
bacon.
yeah. And then we tend to have every holiday we celebrate with bad food.
Mm,
And we invite other people. We invite our kids.
mm.
And then we get the itis, which is the worst thing we could do, is to lay down on it.
Yeah, Black
You need to
folks are
get
the
out.
itis.
Do a family walk.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's go. Let's walk.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna eat that bad food, try to get it out. Or
Right. 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 Deborah Williams said, can kidney disease be reversed?
well, it depends how bad the damage is. If it's damaged and your kidneys are not working, and it also depends on what caused the kidney damage. If it was something immediately, so like your blood pressure was too high and you went into renal failure, a lot of times they can reverse that. But if it's from drugs, if it's from years of
She
prolonged
said Henny.
uncontrolled high blood pressure,
Hennessy.
diabetes, no.
She said it was from Hennessy.
Oh, Hennessy. And let's
Yeah.
talk about alcohol. Alcohol really has been shown by all the studies out there to increase all types of cancer, especially the GI cancers, the esophageal, mouth, stomach, pancreas, liver, rectal.
So I seen an article the other day that HPV oral cancer has increased because of oral sex. So well, not women, people are getting
People.
HPV in their mouth because of, or cancer in their mouth because of HPV, which comes from oral sex. We're gonna talk
And
about that another time.
HPV is preventable because there is a vaccine for HPV.
But you can't take it. You can't get
We
it
give
unless
it to our girls
right,
and our boys at a young
right.
age. A lot of people don't give it to their boys. They only give it to their girls.
But they didn't. Yeah, but they didn't get it because my boys got it. They have to get it. Well, now they have to get that vaccine.
Well, you don't
But
have to get any vaccines right now.
well, you don't.
Well, in Florida.
Oh Jesus, Jesus. Okay.
But that's,
Yeah,
but it is preventable. It is
yeah.
preventable.
But back when we were 14, because you had to get it before you turned 15 or something like that. That
No,
wasn't
you can give them up to, they have come out and say people under 40, you can still get it if you
oh,
haven't
okay.
gotten it.
Okay. But it's like everybody has HPV. I think it's like one out
But
of
it's the bad HPV that causes that. It's the 18, the 16, the 22. It's the so HPV is a virus, and there are good. There are some that are normal, some that are cancer causing.
it's a STD. It's a
Yes.
sexually transmitted
Well,
virus.
yeah. Okay.
We're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about that next week. I want to talk about HPV and all that.
HPV, but there's reason now no one should really have it because you can get the
Well, people over 40 can get it that didn't take the vaccine when they were younger.
no, not over 40, under 40.
Oh, but you
They
guys
just passed this like within the last, I say like the last 5 or 6 years. They said that if somebody's like 35 and didn't get it, they can, yeah. But the vaccine has been around, I think it's like 1990s,
okay.
like 95. So anybody that's in their like late 20s, early 30s, they should have had the vaccine.
Okay. But
They
if you're
should have.
over, but if you're over 40, you're
It's too late. You can't
too late.
get it. You just, it's a slow growing cancer. If you got it, you got it. But if you get your pap smears, then they can treat it. There's treatment for it. It's when you don't do the treatment, you're not getting your pap smears to see, because on the pap smears, they screen you.
We're gonna talk about that next week because I just thought about it, but I seen a video where they were saying people were like HPV oral cancer was increasing because people
Right.
out here having oral sex. I want to talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
You got any final thoughts, Dr. Jones, before we get out of here?
Final thoughts are colon cancer can be prevented. Remember the symptoms. If you see blood in your stool, if you have abdominal cramps and bloating, if you have anemia that's unexplained weight loss, see your doctor. Prevention is worth a pound of life, to be honest, because this is a cancer in majority of people that can be treated if found and diagnosed earlier and prevented.
That's it. That's it. So we got it.
That's
So
it.
we
And
have
tell
to,
your friends, if you want them around when you get older, so you have somebody to invite to the parties,
right. Who
tell them,
want to go to parties
remind
by
them.
themselves?
Right. If they turn 45, say, hey, have you had your colon screening?
You know what we also gonna have to talk about, Dr. Jones,
Yes.
is what's going on with the government shutdown. You really should know in terms of like the subsidies, the medical subsidies, like how is that going to affect, especially people who have health care? What is it going to do, and what we can do to overcome this right now? Because
Right.
with all this going, we have nobody who's regulating our food. It's the wild, wild west in America right now.
Right.
We have
Nobody regulating our health,
nobody regulating our health. We got
our money,
our money. It's
our
crazy.
flights.
Yeah, it's the wild, wild west out here. But with with our food being damn near poisonous, then we got these lunatics in there talk about Tylenol causes autism, and you got a heroin addict who's over the who is it? What is he over the FDA or something? Like it's just crazy. We're truly living in the twilight zone in 2025. Truly, truly. So, but we have to talk about that because some people are going to be affected by what's happening with their Medicare. And how do we get this screening? How can we prevent us getting these cancers? What can we do to be vigilant about that? So we're gonna talk about it next week. We're gonna talk about all that stuff. But I do want to talk about that oral cancer too. Anyway, y'all listen. Dr. Jones has she has a service. She has a concierge consultation service where she can help you. She has helped so many people that I know. She's helped people that are watching in the audience. Has really changed their lives and saved their lives. Helped to get rid of diseases holistically. She'll look at your blood work. She'll tell you what you need to do. She'll tell you the next steps. She'll even recommend, a specialist if you need a specialist. So I vouch for her 100%. Go to askdrj.info. Askdrj.info. Schedule your consultation, especially with what's going on right now with with Medicaid and people losing those benefits. You got to get an opinion of somebody who's an expert. She gonna help you out. All right. Deborah Wood said we freestyling out here in America.
Pretty much.
Not just police departments, man. ICE. I saw today, Dr. J, ICE went into a daycare, tackling daycare workers in front of the kids.
Like why?
It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, we are living in very unique times. I don't know what's going on, but
And they came out today, or was it yesterday, and said they are canceling 10% of the flights.
anybody going anywhere? You're gonna be staying your ass at home.
And this is the holiday coming up. So it's going to be mass chaos. And they were saying it will not matter if you have free or TIA. I mean,
TSA. Oh, wait.
It won't matter because if the lines are long, they're just going to take people as they come. TSA
So clear.
Clear will not matter. TSA pre-check, none of that.
You mean I have
Because
to
when they cancel the flights,
I have to stand in line with the common folks? Jesus. All right, we'll see. I thought I was going. Deborah Woodson. I thought I was going away. Anyway, we'll see you next week, Dr. Jones. We got so much more to talk about. We got to get caught. We got to get caught up. You can't leave us for 2 weeks no more. Well, you can't go nowhere.
I won't.
Because
I'm not going anywhere because I'm not
letting nobody get. We'll see you.